You do mention Odell Beckham Jr. He kind of was, there's reports that the trade talks between the Chiefs and the Bills stalled when Beckham signed his deal with the Ravens. So the question was put to Tom Pelissero from NFL Network, NFL Media Group. What would it take contract-wise? How could you create a contract that would minimize DeAndre Hopkins' salary? Here's Tom Pelissero.
Teams increasingly, Rich, over the last couple of years have been really aggressive adding void years. So you could do something like, let's use $15 million just as the baseline here. You do a $15 million signing bonus plus $1 million base salary for DeAndre Hopkins. You add 4 void years on top of it. He's on a 1-year, $16 million deal that only counts about $4 million on your cap this year. There's different ways that you can get around this, and I don't think the cap space is the driving force. I think as much as anything, it's opportunity. DeAndre Hopkins is a high-volume type of a player. He is a strong personality, too. Even though he comes across as very laid back, you're going to feel DeAndre Hopkins when he's in the room. He's very talented, but he's been banged up the last couple of years, and he's frankly not as young as he was a few years ago either. So I think it's going to be a fairly short list. Obviously, a lot of teams will poke around on it and see what the market is here. But I would anticipate this is pretty targeted in terms of who's going to be in the DeAndre Hopkins mix, who's going to be willing to pay that type of money to bring in that specific player, not upend kind of the overall dynamic and chemistry of your offense, and have a chance to win right now with him at a time that he's going to want to make sure that he's getting money up front.
Fred, I thought part of that was really interesting was the high volume. I'm not sure that there's enough targets to go around for DeAndre Hopkins when you have Amari Cooper, when you have David Njoku, when you have Elijah Moore, to satisfy him at this point in his career.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think he's the missing piece that would get you the Super Bowl, then by all means get him. But I don't know what you're giving up as far as, like I've said all along, after you drafted Cedric Tillman and you signed Marquise Goodwin and you traded for Elijah Moore, I don't even think you have room for any other wide receivers, barring injury, on this year's roster. So that means you have to move on from one of those top 5 or 6 guys already, like giving up on a David Bell, giving up on a Cedric Tillman before he even, get started, or Marquise Goodwin, who you brought in, you liked, or Jakeem Grant. Obviously you got Anthony Schwartz, who you're probably going to move on from. Or do you just say, we'd much rather have a Hopkins over Amari Cooper or Peoples-Jones? Because, yeah, that can bring another set of circumstances. Unless you're winning, and we saw it before. If a high volume receiver isn't getting his targets, he starts getting, antsy, and it kind of domino effect. We saw that firsthand a couple years ago. So, that's the delicate balance. And that's why I just think at this point of the offseason, I'd be surprised if they went all in to get him in a bidding war, because it's not gonna be say, hey, well, you want to come here and play with Deshaun, we'll give you what do you want, 8-10 million? Yeah, okay. He's gonna say yes. He's gonna get offers from as many teams as he can, and ultimately probably try to get the biggest money and the best opportunity all at the same time.